So the Women's Professional Basketball League got brought up today. And then, of course, racism discussion started on the chat board on the Cilio show today. And it just reminded me when I was growing up how much of a racist my dad was. I mean, I found out later in life it was all a show with my dad. In kind of a way. Because I grew up in a white community. I didn't meet black people or Mexicans or Asians or anybody until the end of junior high school, when people started moving out of Minnesota, into Hudson for whatever reason. I remember when Buddy Ryan cut Chris Carter, and he was going to buy a house like in a neighborhood just down, a few blocks down from my neighborhood. And he felt that even the realtor was racist. And like, there's no black people where I lived in Hudson, Wisconsin. None. But he, that's in a nice town away from the cities in Minnesota, blah, blah. But some of the best people I've met are not my race. I mean, good people, dude. Like high school, they're always welcome. They ended up becoming very popular in our school, and good times. And then my dad later in life, he told me about when he was in the Air Force or whatever, and his coach or colonel or who coached the team was racist. And went let this black guy play, even though he was probably the best player on the team, and a bunch of guys faked an injury, so he was forced to play him. And he ended up not being able to coach that team anymore when it all came out or whatever. And the 70s were different, 60s and 70s were different. But when I was a kid, I didn't get it. It was just like it was all the stereotypes. We always pretended to laugh at my dad when he'd say dumb stuff, and I didn't know any better until I got older. And like I said, I've met a lot of good people that are not my color, and and that's what it is, dude. I remember I used to work with a black guy. He was a Gold Glove boxer. We used to go watch his matches, and even though he wasn't, like a Muhammad Ali or anything, he could wreck some people. And he asked me what I thought about Terrell Owens joining the Cowboys, and I said, he's a stupid ass, and he goes, you get one.